I apologize, we need to turn this off just for a few minutes. We're going to have a team meeting.
Good.
Isn't URS there, so are they involved in disarming
Yes.
old
Kim to chemical weapons.
Because there was a big explosion. 2 people, URS employees died.
No, not that I'm aware of.
This has been over a year ago. Okay, can we get started for the WGI people that are interested in the volunteer all-hands meeting tonight? Not much, really. Just to kind of follow up, I think one of the things we emphasized last week was to offer up to those of you that are interested this job openings list that we've made available to you. The one that we published last week had well over 2,100 postings. We tried to clarify that those postings were not necessarily all job openings, but they were leads on possible continued employment with URS. There was an announcement this week, a Federal Services Win announcement, which is the division we're in. And it was actually something that Gordon touched on, Gordon Kennedy, while he was here. And that was that a lot of these Army pilots that you see, in fact, I think what he said was all of them are actually trained by URS Corporation. So the announcement that was out this week was that the Federal Services just won a contract which is valued at $53 million. Flight Training Services Task Order on a time and material basis was awarded via the General Services Administration Mission-Oriented Business Integrated Services Contract. It's for training services on a hybrid firm-fixed contract, time and material. It's 2 task orders for a period of 1 year with 4 one-year options. The URS team, including subcontractors, will provide advanced helicopter collective flight training and UAS simulation enhanced training, program management, financial management, integrated logistics management, and engineering support. So just a prime example of kind of a follow-up on, potentially there could hopefully be some opportunities there for some of us, maybe not, but it's a nice win for us, $53 million worth of work. I guess to expand a little bit, a little further on our talk this morning, I wanted to clarify that there's going to be a renewed emphasis on quality control. Is Victor here? Victor left. Yeah, Victor is going to be our quality control rep. I'm going to work directly with Victor to get our quality control program updated and submitted to the Air Force and reviewed by DCMA. So he'll be Glenn's counterpart, Glenn's safety, Victor's quality. It's very important that we do our job. As I noted this morning, we're all paid to be here, and that means that URS is contracted to provide a service. If we don't provide that service, then the Air Force has a document that's issued on a monthly basis that documents the fact that we didn't comply with certain contractual obligations. In that document, the non-compliances are listed with the individuals named who were in violation. We're going to make it a point now to try and get in front of these issues so that we don't end up with monthly reports that are, not in a favorable light for our team here. Because it's a reflection on everybody. even though the individuals are named in the report, it's still a reflection on our performance in total. So, you know, we want to do a good job. We want to do what we're paid to do, and we intend to follow through on that. So, do you have anything, Ed?
We'll touch on safety.
Yeah. In fact, I apologize for that. We usually open the meeting with a safety.
Yeah. You talked about earlier about sunscreen. So if any of y'all are looking for sunscreen or need sunscreen, Ron's gone now, so you'll probably just talk to Peebler and he'll issue you some sunscreens. But it's very important to use sunscreen while you're out there in the sun. I mean, even a dark-skinned person like myself can get a tan. All right. All right.
Well, you know,
It's
not only the sunscreen team, but, you know, long sleeve shirts are important. I realize it's hot out there, but long sleeve shirts provide some sun protection. Hats provide sun protection. You know, where you're required on some of these sites to wear hard hats, then obviously, you know, that's mandatory. Not all of our sites are hard hat require the use of hard hats. So, you know, where you've got an opportunity to put a hat on to protect your face or your head, then I would highly recommend that you do that. Sun's a dangerous thing. I can tell you firsthand that it is. So, yeah, and then I think the idea here is to, you know, a generally open forum. Do we have any comments or concerns this week from the team? Anything that anybody wants to make note of or bring to our attention while we're all here? Oh, I know something.
Okay.
Last week, we changed the mandatory meeting to voluntary because the rumors have subsided. And we noted that one of the reasons these meetings were mandatory, or that Morgan Morehart felt that they needed to be mandatory, was so that we could address rumors. But any rumors that anybody's heard that they're concerned about? You've heard this or you've heard that concern you? Okay.
I brought it up with the doc over there. We really need to have first aid kits at every site in all the vehicles. But I noticed that we did go to one vehicle, but it only had gauze in it.
Okay.
That, you know, knee bandages and everything, things like that. And that's why I just wanted to emphasize on that. We had someone get injured at the site. And I had to go to security forces to get it.
Well, I know that Gary, our medic, actually makes period. In fact, I think, where is Gary still here? There. Did you make a run today, Gary?
I got skipped over.
Oh. Remember, when it's your time to talk, we said make sure you're in the front.
But I was going to bring up, yes, Bill, we're going to stock, we'll have them all stocked by Friday. And we're looking for 2 bags. So if anybody has like an old fanny pack or a little army butt pack or just a bag, that we need 2 mobile first aid kits. I want to put 1 in each of the vehicles. I think that was the consensus. The hangar, a Russian hangar
Right.
area, and then
And the
another
demolition-
area where,
The demolition area is what happened.
Right.
This is just a little further, but
yeah, so if there's any old bags, just small something, and I will put everything together, or I'll end up going and buying the bags, but there's something laying around that we can use. I believe that was it. We found one site that doesn't have a first aid kit. One of the recommendations was to take that one off of the shack sitting out here, but I guess there's a use for it, they would say. So,
We need to make sure that we coordinate any of that with Sergeant Pilato and his
Well,
staff.
take it off where you're
because
using
they,
it.
they always make sure this is the first aid stuff, so I just want to make sure we coordinate with them.
fire extinguishers too, because sometimes the workers will make fires, cook their stuff. Something happens, you gotta run somewhere else. Burn those liquor.
Yeah, because sometimes they cook out there on the
Yeah,
site.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think that we should bring it to, do we interact, how does it work out there, guys, with the construction supervisors? Do we have any contact with them? I mean, the actual construction supervisors. I mean, if you see, I think what we've tried, go ahead, Victor.
the Afghan site is hard. They have one person usually that may speak English, and it's very limited. And most of the Afghan sites, I think we got one or two now, but the supervisor may be not on the site, it may be just an interpreter. So it's kind of
Trying to get the message from the interpreter to the supervisor that, hey, you know, we're not responsible for their safety, but we certainly want to, as we've noted before, we want to make certain that if we see something that's a blatant safety hazard, that we want to bring it to the right person's attention. And obviously it begins with your monitor lead, with the Air Force rep on the site. There's only so much you can do, and then they can track it down at a higher level. If there's not somebody right on the site, they can address it. They can get on the radio, get back to the appropriate, whether it be CH2 and Hill, or 77 Construction, or whoever that might be, to say, hey, you got a potential problem out here.
What is the procedure if we see a blatant safety violation that isn't anything to do with us? It's some other company, and they're, I'll tell you what happened. They're working on those big T-walls. There's a guy up on top of the T-wall welding with no goggles. The wind is blowing like crazy, and he's got no
Fall protection.
safety harness of any kind. There was a Army sergeant there that was in charge of those guys, and I brought it to his attention, and he said, okay, well, you gonna watch the guy die, or what?
I think you've brought it to the supervisor's attention. That's a good thing. I think that the immediate supervisor's attention. Did you bring it to your monitor lead's attention?
Yes.
To your super, okay.
And
Well,
they said-
you've taken it as far as you can take it, and you've done the right thing. And then, you know, we'll have to follow up with it with our monitor lead and make sure that the appropriate people are notified.
But do we have the right to stop unsafe acts? I think that's what he's asking.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Blatantly unsafe.
a fine line. We're not responsible for those people. And, you know, our company, we're not contractually obligated, and where we start interceding in the business of others, we could potentially expose our company to financial obligations that we're not wanting to be exposed to.
Still, I don't wanna see this guy fall and splatter
Absolutely.
in front of me.
Well, you will.
Absolutely, but, you know, you've taken it as far as you can take it.
Can we shut down the site? Can we stop the site if there's blatant misuse? Like sometimes they'll come to work like a Russian hanger wearing flip-flops, really. You tear down a house. Can we say, okay, you know what, none of y'all have the right footwear, gloves, or anything like that?
That's not our responsibility.
So no.
It's not our
You can
responsibility.
bring it up to the site safety person or their supervisor that's doing it, and bring it up to them. And if it gets to a point where you're that concerned, you need to make sure that the site lead gets hold of their military veteran, and they can come out and say, this is it.
Because the
But
site
as far
didn't do that.
But as far as halting their progress or stopping them, no.
Okay.
You know, we've tried to emphasize the importance of imminent danger. Imminent danger would be if you're witness to somebody carrying something and they're walking towards an open trench, and you can see that they're going to step into it. Well, you wouldn't go over to their supervisor and say, hey, tell your guy, you know, he's about to step. In the meantime, he falls down in the trench. You know, you would feel, in fact, you're obligated, I think,
That's kind of decency.
to go up and stop the guy. Hey, stop. He might not understand what you're saying, but that loud noise will get his attention. Stop him, and you know, don't let him fall into that open trench.
So basically what you're saying, if they don't care about their safety, we don't need to.
No, I mean,
we don't
I
care,
think
but we can't do anything about it now.
I think we do care. I think it's difficult not to care, but contractually, we're not
We're not their boss.
well, you know, I wanted to say we're not obligated, we're not responsible. And once you start assuming responsibility, you're taking on an area that now you've subjected the company to potential exposure. And it's not what we're responsible to do. You know, to be honest with you, think about this. You know, most of them are probably working safer than they've ever worked before, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you know, I've been in Afghanistan for 2 years, and a good 6 or 8 months of that has been in the city of Kabul. It's kind of a very unique experience. I also spent 2 years in Iraq, but it was all on bases. The Green Zone, the International Zone, or Camp Victory, or inside a base. And I think, you know, for those of you that have been here, your experience has been inside the wire, not outside the wire. So I was able to experience outside the wire. And you would be absolutely amazed, obviously, I mean, at what you see out there. It's amazing what you see people working on. You know, medium voltage lines, in some cases maybe 4160, you know, medium voltage lines, working on flip-flops on some kind of rickety ladder, standing up there amongst that stuff. You know, it's amazing. In the city, I didn't see any of that, you know, in some of the little bases there inside Kabul, but inside the city you see a lot of that stuff. So, okay. I think that one of the things that we've been announcing is that we were expecting some management assistance here. We've got it now. John, I want to introduce John Atchison. He's going to be taking over for Harvey Nicholson while Harvey Nicholson is out. So he is our designated HR person. John is also going to help us with some other stuff, document control and various other things. He's been with the company for almost 40 years now. So we welcome John. His door is going to be open to you. In some cases, he's going to be inviting you in. There are some open HR issues that he's going to help us with now. We've kind of been holding back a bit. Ed and I have just to be honest with you, have been overwhelmed. We're still understaffed. We're not fully staffed yet, so John will be with us for the next little while, and we appreciate everybody's cooperation and help with John. So, okay.
Yes, I have a question. Is it okay if we go back to the policy as far as the kilo driver, basically handle the overflow in the morning and then don't repost until his site actually posts at 1 o'clock?
The driver situation, I'm actually working on with Victor, and we can discuss that in the morning, quite honestly, because I don't want to give you a wrong answer.
Right.
As it stands now, the answer is no.
All right.
Okay, but I don't want to make you think that's a definite answer. I'm trying to look at defining the roles a little bit better.
Yeah, there's some things that we're considering with the drivers that we hope will make it better. We'll see. Yes, sir.
I have one thing. Sir, I know you just arrived today. Do you think you could probably put a 1-800 number on the bulletin board for employees?
1-800 for who?
Concerns.
I think he's trying to say the 1-800 hotline number.
Right.
That's what he's trying to say.
Right. Well, you know what I'm saying. That's only.
I can get that put up immediately.
Okay, it's not. I've been looking for it. I haven't
Okay.
decided on it yet. I haven't seen it. So it's got some issues that the old management didn't take care of, and I know you just got here. Maybe you can take care of it.
Okay, bring them forward.
When you get settled in, I'll
Okay.
knock on your door.
You're always welcome. My door's open.
Anything else?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
DCN control. Night shift last night, we were very short. LN's DCN's decided they're gonna go one location. US Air Force tells them no, they take off anyway. So we've got 3 people on F site, and them taking off in any different direction they care to. What is our authority to round them up?
Were you working last night?
No, it's my day.
Oh, okay. So are you familiar with the situation?
Not to put you on the spot, Mr. Scott.
Well, we'll put it this way, we're extremely short enough to have only 1 or 2 individual sites. Because sites that should have been closed down, as in the past when we were overmanned or undermanned, we're not. So we had 3 people out of 18 workers and 3 trucks that decided to go one way. Watson, the Air Force guy, told them no, they couldn't go. They took off anyway. Second time, I myself intercepted them. We have no control. The LNSDCMs, because of management here and previously, decided they can tell us when they come in. They rolled into Mike Cramp saying they were going to work and they were not scheduled for Mike Cramp. But they tried. If Venom hadn't told them flat no, get out, they'd have worked. We had no manpower to cover. So
Well, I think that happens on occasion, and it's
happening more and more.
Yeah, and
That's the problem.
it's out of our control. I think that it was addressed properly by saying, hey, no, we can't cover it. No, you can't work at this site if it's not scheduled. I know in the day, during the day shift, I've heard of an occasion or two, and that's been the position that Senior Delato has taken.
Well, we're told to give 360-degree protection. All corners and everything else. How do you do that with 2 guys in 3 places? Mike Ramp, they're down at the bottom, they're in the middle, they're up at the top. F last night, right there, then they take off in other directions. How do we control them?
It's difficult to do.
So what is our authority to stop them?
The authority stops with the military. Ultimately, you report to the military site lead, they take it up the chain from there.
Yeah, because like I said, Watson told them no and they went right on.
And that's Mr. Watson's.
Yeah, we take it to our client. Our client has a rep on site, and they work with the contractor.
Well, I know in the past when one Venom Up was here, they told us to pull their cards and hand it to them. They brought the MPs or the SP guys. That about took care of it. So I don't know right now what ours is.
Okay. Well,
To watch, to just watch. Just watch. Report something, that's it.
Is it possible that we could get asked the 77 or the construction workers to have someone that speaks English that legitimate? Maybe they didn't understand, no, you can't go, or something, just plain devil's advocate. Because like at the Russian hangar,
Yeah,
they had a translator there, but he was from Nepal. They were Afghan. I become good a translator. You speak as much Arabic, Pashto, or whatever as I do.
Yeah, that's like at
That would help things in that.
Well, I think it's important, Steve, that we document our concerns in the evenings and make note of it to our Air Force rep in the evenings, and then we need to carry it forward with Senior Delato during the daytime.
I did discuss that issue with him yesterday. After I did the schedule, I said, she mess up. Looks thin, we don't have enough guys to cover the site, so we haven't really seen that worry.
And like Steve's aware of, like at my ramp, we got to cover it every way we can. Next thing we know, we got 3, 4, 5 guys just walking off. All of a sudden you're looking up and they're headed for the gate or they're headed over towards the Cadillacs. You don't know where they're going. And they have been specifically told, don't walk without telling one of us. But they don't care.
Well, please make sure that we document that in our report, and make sure that when you document that, you note that you brought it to the Air Force lead's attention.
Because if the Air Force lead doesn't do anything about it, we can't take it any further. You're not to put yourself in a position of rounding up people at your danger. Whenever you have an armed person right there to do it. So that's where it falls. You know, it's very easy for you to cross that line of where you're actually at fault. And you don't want to put yourself there.
Do we have any new personnel coming, monitors?
Got 3 today.
Other than that?
Other than that, no, we don't have any additional people scheduled in, and I think we're pretty healthy right now. We're looking at moving 1 or 2 to nights. That's going to help you. Anything else? Pretty good show, and we appreciate the show. Coming in. Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I love it here.
You hadn't been here long enough.
Well, Levon, you didn't get a gift certificate tonight.
I didn't? Well,
No.
damn it, Cook, you better go get it.
I nominated you.
Did you?
That's the best I could do.
He nominated me.
No, ma'am.
I want my gift certificate.
And that cigarette before I, you don't want to fucking go down this road? You really want to?
Yeah, I'll holler at you.
You really?
I'll holler at you
Really?
when I come back off my day off. John.
What?